Hey guys, it's Gabby. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys some easy gel nails you can do at home. And I did partner up with Modelones on this video, so I'm going to be using their 16-piece gel nail polish set. And you guys, this is the cutest thing ever because it's basically a mini set of all these gels, and it comes with 16 of them, a base coat and a top coat. And even though this is my first time using this brand, I knew that they were the ones that had the wooden packaging, so I asked them to send some over, and this is what it looks like. You guys, is this not the best packaging you've ever seen? Like, I absolutely love this, and you can get this in the full-size gel polishes, but this is just another top and base coat, so I just had to show you guys that. And I am going to be using their UV/LED lamp, and I realize this is white with a white background, so it's kind of difficult to see, but this is like the perfect travel size, especially because you have the option of batteries or plugging it in. So right now I'm just prepping my nail because whenever you're using gel, you want to make sure you start by filing and shaping your nails, taking care of your cuticles, and then buffing off that shiny layer of your nail. And I'm only buffing a tiny bit. You don't want to over buff. You don't want thin nails. And then after that, I'm just taking a makeup sponge and rubbing alcohol and wiping off the dust and getting rid of any oils that may be left on my nails. After that, you're gonna go ahead and apply your base coat. And I did use a base coat for all of these, but I think I only showed it for like 1 or 2 designs just because I felt like that would get a little repetitive. But you do wanna make sure that you're keeping all of your layers as thin as possible, and then I'm just gonna cure that for 60 seconds. So for the first design, I started by applying Lavishly Loved to my nail, and this is a blushy pink color, and I was so surprised because this was actually a 2-coater. A 2-coater. I was honestly not expecting that, mainly because I feel like most light colors like this are at least 3 coats. But yeah, definitely make sure you wipe off any mistakes before you cure your nail, and I did cure this after each coat. Next, I'm taking Morandi Gray, which is a light gray shade, and just swiping it going across the corner of my nail in kind of like a curved way. And I ended up liking this so much that I made it a little bit bigger just so there was more gray on the nail. And whenever you're drawing a design with gel polish, again, you want to make sure it's as thin as possible because one, you want to make sure it's not too thick so it cures properly, and you also don't want to be stuck trying to soak this stuff off for like an hour. So keep it as thin as possible. And I did end up doing 2 coats of gray and then applying my top coat. And you can keep it like this, but I really wanted to add gems to this. So I took a few gems that I got from Daily Charm and just kind of laid them going across that curve. And if you do decide to add gems, you want to make sure you put them down before you go to cure that top coat. And one thing I really like about gel is you can still kind of move them around and place them however you want before you cure it. But then as you can see right here, once it's cured, it's pretty much stuck. If you are one of those people who like bumps their nail and everything, you can always add a little more top coat around the gems and cure it one more time, but it's really just a personal preference. So yeah, that is the first design. So another design you can do is, again, start off with your nail prep and your base coat, and then instead of painting your nail a solid color, there's going to be some negative space. So I'm just taking this color, what is this? This is Strawberry Ice Cream, which is a bubblegum pink. So for this design, there's going to be a negative space triangle at the bottom of the nail. So I started by making a dot kind of in the middle toward the bottom, and then drew 2 lines going off of that. And if you're like, I cannot sit there and freehand draw the line, well, it is a lot easier with gel because you can wipe away any mistakes you make. So I'm going to give you guys an example. If you get something somewhere you don't want it, you can just take an empty brush and wipe it away like nothing happened. So it does help that you can kind of cheat your way through it. And then after that, I'm just going to fill in the top portion of my nails with that same pink shade. And you do also have the option of using striping tape if you still don't want to draw the lines. And I did do a video on that like 2 weeks ago, so I'll have that link down below just so you know how to do that. And then once you're done filling in that area of your nail, you're just going to cure it for 60 seconds. And I ended up repeating this 2 more times, so it was 3 coats in total. And one thing, when you're going to do the second and third coat, if you don't feel comfortable getting those really small areas, you can just get a small brush and fill in those areas, which I think makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this design. And then after that, I applied my top coat and cured my nail 1 more time. And I do have to say, after using these, I was pleasantly surprised with the formula because they are more on the affordable side. I think this kit is around like $29, $30, and for all that you get, like, I'm like really impressed with the quality. Also, let me know if you guys want to see more nail art using gel nail polish because I don't know, I feel like gel nail polish is starting to grow on me a little bit. But anyways, for the next design, I'm starting off with this kind of berry pinkish shade, and this was more on the sheer side, so it ended up being a 3-coater which I don't mind because I don't have to wait for gel nails to dry. And I went ahead and cured that after the first 2 coats, but then after the 3rd coat, I'm not gonna cure it yet. And I'm just gonna let you guys know now, I don't know what this next design is, but I really like how it turned out. So I'm gonna be taking that first blushy pink and adding little dots of nail polish in there. And then I'm also gonna take this glitter polish and do the same thing. And honestly, you can put them anywhere you want, just make sure they're still kind of small. Next, I'm taking a thin brush from Michael's craft store and just kind of swiping it through the dots. You could definitely do this in more of a strategic way to where it makes a specific design, but I was just kind of going with it. I don't know what this is, but I really like it. It's kind of a marbly, dreamy design, and it's so easy to do, you guys. You cannot mess this up. So because this is gel, it's not going to dry, so you can really keep swirling it around until you get a look you want, and then go ahead and cure that. And then again, you're going to finish with your top coat, and for some reason, I didn't show this, but I did cap the tip of my nails. So basically, you're going to take the top coat and run it along the free edge of your nail just to make your mani last longer. And then after that, you are done. And for the next design, I am going to be starting off with the same color as my base. And this time I'm going to be taking some rubbing alcohol and wiping it across my nail. And I'm doing this to get rid of that tacky layer because I am going to be using some nail vinyls. These are just the French tip kind, and I put them on each side of my nail facing each other. And next I'm going to be using another gray, but this one is darker than the first one. And I'm just going to paint it going down the middle of those vinyls. And then after that, I'm going to cure my nail and then do a second coat. But instead of curing it right away, I'm going to remove the vinyls and then cure it after that. And I did that just to make sure I can get my lines as clean as possible without it getting stuck under the gel. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's probably because you didn't watch the do's and don'ts of striping tape with gel nail polish, just saying. Anyways, again, you're gonna finish off with a top coat and then you are done. And I did get these nail vinyls from What's Up Nails, but you also have the option of freehanding it if you want to do that. Next up, I'm going to be using chocolate as my base color, and this is such a gorgeous color, you guys. This is honestly like my perfect nude, so I'll definitely be using this in the future, but I didn't really want to cover up this color, so I'm going to be using a glitter polish with it. Also, I ended up doing 2 coats of that color, if anybody was wondering, but I'm going to be taking Ice Bar, which is the glitter I used for the marble design earlier, and I'm basically going to just cover up about half of the nail, and you can use striping tape for this, but I just went ahead and freehanded it. So this is more of a scattered glitter, but you don't want to keep applying coats because it does have that clear polish that will make it super thick and globby looking. So what I'm going to do is basically wipe it onto a makeup sponge and let it soak in some of that, and just individually place some more glitters. And this is optional, but for me this is the best way to add more glitter while still keeping the nail as thin as possible. So I'm just using a brush to place the glitters. You can also use a toothpick or dotting tool or whatever else just to easily pick them up and place them. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and cure my nail. And I absolutely love how this turned out. It's definitely more of a subtle look and kind of similar to a glitter gradient, so that's actually an option as well. But I don't know, I just really like it. So for the last design, I'm going to be starting off with that same blushy pink, and then I'm using the same light gray, but I promise this is a different design. So basically I'm going to take the gray. I'm basically creating a reverse French tip with the pink, and I know there's another name for this, but I cannot think of what it is. So I'm just going to do that, and this took 2 coats of gray. And you can also use the French tip vinyls I used earlier to do this, just to make it easier. And then once that's cured, I'm going to be taking the same glitter polish and drawing a line going down the middle of the gray area. And again, I wanted there to be a little more glitter, so I'm just going to individually place them using a small brush. And yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys like these designs. Let me know which one is your favorite, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye!